Hey, welcome back to Project Me. This is day 52, I think. We've got a few wins to cover and a few things that are bothering me, so I genuinely believe this will be a short video. So, strike me down if it's not, I swear it better be. First of all, let's jump right into the things that have been sort of weighing on me, and we'll end on the highs, which is, I think it's a good way to end it before bed. So, firstly, I feel like I'm drowning in work. I feel suffocated at the moment. The sheer amount of reading I have to do every week is killing me. And it's not something I can control, for one. The readings are set. And part of the problem is also that the grand majority of my workload is put in the first 3 days of the week. So, for example, I have to prepare for my contract law lecture on Monday by doing readings. So I have to do readings on Sunday for that. Then the rest of the day I have to I have to prepare for my lecture the next day on American foreign policy. So that's more readings. And then on Tuesday, I have to not only go to that lecture, but I also have to prepare for my readings on public and my readings on contract law, also on Wednesday, and also the other readings for the next lecture on US foreign policy on Wednesday. So today is Wednesday here, which means I had my busiest day today. But it also means that most of my work week is now behind me, which is good. So now all I have to do is focus on preparing for my tutorial for contract law on Friday and the other half of public law on Friday. In all, I had about 200 pages of academic articles to read this week, so it's quite a hefty toll on my sanity. But hey, I signed up for it. I can't complain. I can only complain about me complaining about it. No, but it is hard work, and I do wish I had more time to pursue my own projects, as it were. Which is, everyone wants that. But even so, it feels like a huge burden, all this work. And it's only going to get worse as well, because next week the rest of my tutorials start. Not to mention, I'm starting 2 new jobs as well. So the free time that I have is going to be vastly diminished, which I'm not looking forward to, because even if I'm very efficient with my time, I still worry that my grades will suffer as a result of not putting in the minimum amount of time that I need into these courses. So I'm very hesitant about that. I'm feeling quite burdened by all this as well. I'm very wary about not putting too much on my plate, but unfortunately these 2 new jobs are just, they're such good opportunities, I can't pass them up. They're too good to pass up, so I feel inclined to take them, for good or ill. And unfortunately, the ill is going to be time management. It's not something I think I'll struggle with. I think if I learn to be really efficient, I'll be fine. There's nothing like necessity that breeds change. So I'm sure I will adapt, but even so, I worry the adaptation won't be enough. So that's my concern. That things are only going to get worse until they get better, but hopefully things will get better. Now, what else? That's the real big downer for me. The only thing I can control is my time management and the speed at which I read and take notes and all that. So I'm sure we'll find a way after a lot of pain. It's always the way, right? Always the way. What else have we got? Just sticky note. Starting 2 new jobs, worried about time management. We've covered that one off pretty well, I think. Oh, yes. So the law school, they do competitions every so often between teams that sign up. So we had senior negotiations, senior being the last 3 years of law school. Sorry, the last 2 years of law school. Junior being the second 2. First years don't really count as law students. I'm a 3rd year, so I'm in the 2nd year of proper law school, which means I'm in the last year of being a junior, but I can also compete in senior events. There was a negotiation competition. I really wanted to do it. My partner as in my law competition partner, really wanted to do it with me as well. Unfortunately, I had a pre-existing commitment, so I couldn't do it, and they only do it once a year, so we completely missed out on senior negotiations this year, which is I'm quite disappointed about. Would have been really good for practicing. That's okay. We move on. The next problem is that client interviewing, the other senior competition, is on next week. I also have a pre-existing commitment, so I cannot do that either. And of course, that also only runs once a year. So, can't do that either, which is a huge shame. Because I really want to start, practicing with my law competition partner, because we could be really, really good together. I think we could go to nationals and maybe even internationals. I mean, yes, I'm being ambitious and a bit hasty about it, but I think we have a lot of potential. So, it's a shame. It's a real shame. But that's okay. We'll do the junior ones later this year anyways. It's just less practice overall, unfortunately. But my pre-existing event this week was a mixer between 3 different clubs, 2 of which I'm a part of, one of which, both of which I help run. So I kind of had to be there, unfortunately. But it was a really good event. It was about politics and international politics and the UN, that sort of stuff. Just a student mixer, so we got students together. We had the ambassador of a country slash, I won't specify, country slash multilateral organization come in and give a talk. And then I had to get up on stage after him and thank him in front of the room, and then talk about why everyone in the audience should join my club. Completely forgot everything that I intended to say, but I was told the speech turned out really well, and I have a real stage presence, I was told, so I'm quite pleased with myself, particularly because actually, I'm quite divided on this. I was told by a few people that I was quite charismatic, especially in the networking after, which actually troubles me, because, I mean, on the one hand, it pleases me, yes, that, because when people say that, what I hear is that they feel heard, which I think is a really good thing, and it says a lot about how I interact with them. But on the other hand, I feel quite negatively about that, because I'm quite naturally distrustful of charismatic people, I guess, and so now to suddenly be in that position, it actually it kind of worries me, which is a very interesting concern to have. Maybe it's because I read Frank Herbert's Dune when I was younger, and of course the theme of that novel is not to trust attractive leaders. Attractive being the ones with qualities that attract you to them. So, I don't know, I feel quite divided on it. Like, of course, on the one hand, I'm pleased that, and I'm assuming here, just based off my experience around charismatic people, they make you feel good. So I'm pleased that people feel good around me. I hope so, at least. I'm just assuming. But I'm displeased that I'm now in that position where I'm a position that I would naturally distrust myself in. So, a bit of an odd one. But nonetheless, I'm pleased with my my public speaking performance. Far from perfect in my eyes, but clearly well enough, and from what I was told afterwards, which does please me. So I'm happy about that. Actually doing Toastmasters to improve my public speaking is something I have on my list to do this year, but I just don't know if I have enough time for the aforementioned reasons. The last thing that I'll talk about, see, this really is a short video. The last thing I'll talk about is probably really good so far about catching up with people and going out of my way to see people over a cup of coffee or a meal. Just really good to get out of my room, get out of my cage, and have some human interaction. Which is good, because otherwise I just isolate myself. I just bar myself in the room, refuse to engage with reality, and focus solely on what I need to do, mostly study. So it's good to sort of force myself to go out and speak with people, which is good. Yeah, so I'm pleased with the amount of meetings and catch-ups that I've got scheduled over the next week. Got one tomorrow, hopefully one Friday, one on Saturday, and hopefully a fun afternoon with someone on Sunday, which will be good. I'm looking forward to that. But otherwise, that is it from me. Sort of on the rise, I hope. I mean, things will probably get worse before they get better, but that's okay. It's good to be prepared for that. Mentally prepare myself for that, so that's alright. But yes, I hope you're all doing really well. I hope you've all had a fantastic few days, and you have an even better weekend and the rest of the week. So, take care, guys. All the best to you. Cheers.